Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Let's bring in John Garrett. John, thanks for doing the search. Cheech, how are you?
I'm good. Don, you were talking about the first game and this game in the third period. And, I think a lot of it had to do with the way the Canucks played, too, because they played a very conservative game, keep it close and try and win 2-1, 3-1. But then they're down 3-0. So we saw the defenseman pinching in.
Yeah.
We saw Tyler Myers rushing the puck. We saw Zadorov in front of the net. We didn't see that in the first two periods. And I think that the Oilers just didn't adapt to the Canucks being much more aggressive in their style of play and protecting a 3-0 lead. And then the turnover and the face-off win. And who was the win against? Connor McDavid. It was Lindholm against McDavid. It goes back, and then the Canucks get the second goal. I really think that the Canucks had opportunities. The power plays, naturally, you're going to talk about those. Yep. The Oilers 1 for 2 and the Canucks 0 for 3, and especially the 4-minute one. And Artur Silovs was absolutely great again. I remember game 1 against Nashville when Thatcher made that save in the first minute on.
It was on Beauvillier.
Yeah, Beauvillier. Yeah, and it kind of set the tone for the game, and it showed the rest of the team that the goalie was going to be sharp. And Silovs did that again in the first minute and a half of the game, made a great save on CC, and then the breakaway on Connor Brown, shorthanded. I think that's one of the ones where you look at it, there's the save on CC, the rebound, and he dove across, and it kind of showed that even though the shots were 9-1 about the 15-minute mark of the first period, Silovs was going to stop all the easy ones and then the tough ones too. To me, that was a save. And you think, okay, they're going to rally around and create some offense and be a little more aggressive on Stuart Skinner. And again, you got a goalie that is struggling. He's got the hook, comes back in, wins game 6 where he wasn't challenged at all. And in game 7, look at the missed shots. The Canucks had how many missed shots? Even in the first period, when the shots were 9-1, the Canucks had almost as many good quality chances. Connor Garland came off the wing, had lots of time, lots of room, and fired one. You know, it was close, but 6 inches wide. And then Mikheyev, who couldn't score on me, I don't think, has a breakaway, and he fumbles it off the end of his stick. And you got a goalie like that, you have to hit the net. And, at the end of the night, they'll say, oh, the shots were 29-17 or whatever they were. The Oilers blocked 25 and the Canucks missed 20. So there's 45 more attempts. And especially against a goalie who is struggling, you just can't miss the net. Tyler Myers had another one that, again, a rolling puck. There's excuses, but you have to hit the net and make the goalie who's struggling, make him make a save. Hit him in the logo. Make him make a save. And I don't think they took advantage of Stuart Skinner as much as they could have. Try and think of how many really good saves that he made tonight. There wasn't a whole lot. And I think a lot of it had to do with the Connor Garland goal was a 30-foot wrist shot, short side, clean. Okay, a bad giveaway, but not a great goal. And then the point shot goes through a maze and goes in. But to me, it wasn't a good enough effort to get shots through. There's the point shot. I didn't mind that one. Roenick, and I thought Roenick struggled in this game, even though he got a goal. The first 2 goals he was on for, and to me, didn't look great. And here's the shot, and you can see there's Ekholm. If you're going to block the shot. And that one shot that Nils Höglander is out by the point. And if you're going to block the shot. And you could tell that Silovs didn't see it. And there was a couple of other guys in the way, but Höglander was the one that he had time to get squared up, and he didn't. And especially when you're that close to the guy shooting, you should make sure you get it. And Ekholm on that one, I don't know what he was doing, but he let it go right through. And then Skinner didn't have much chance on that one, but the Garland goal I didn't like. And the Canucks just missed too many chances.
Yeah. We'll hear from Rick Tocchet later on, hopefully post-game as the Canucks get eliminated, John. But you mentioned something there, and just how aggressive the Canucks were after the Garland goal to make it 3-1. How much do you think they'll regret the start of the game? And in fact, the first two periods, John, when they weren't all that aggressive. What do you think the thinking was going in from a Canuck point of view?
And you don't want to make excuses, but they could have used some Brock magic at the end of the game for sure. But when you start shuffling the lines around, everybody's paying attention to, well, I can't make a mistake, and I've got to do this, and I've got to do that. And, Miller and Elias playing together, they played together a lot, but you could see Miller talking to Mikheyev on the bench, and then they were shifting that other winger around. And JT, I thought, played an exceptional game. He gave it his all, and you look at his minutes in that game, and hard minutes, and a 7-game series where he was one of the dominant players, playing against McDavid most of the time. And what was it? Rick, you'll probably know.
27 minutes for Miller tonight.
27 minutes.
Yeah, 3 hits, one shot, but 27 minutes, 69% in the faceoff circle, John.
5 shots.
Yeah, and that's when he's on his game, the concentration's there, and the faceoffs are there, and I imagine Quinn would be the only guy that would be even close to the minutes. And
28 minutes for Quinn. 28
for Quinn, and Quinn had a hard series too, because the Oilers, after they double teamed him continually so that he wouldn't spin away. So they were on Quinn continually, and Brock, missing Brock is, and you say, well, next man up, and it's only a game, and the big picture, I hope Brock's well, and hope he gets other chances to play Game 7s, and he had such a great season and such a great playoff, and it's really sad that he didn't get to play in Game 7, but his health is obviously the number one priority, and I wish him well. But it's heartbreaking for any athlete to miss such an important game like that, and the medical testing, it's so much better than during our era, because he would have been out there, blood clot or not. Who would have known what a blood clot was?
Yeah.
It sure wasn't the former goaltender trainers that we had. They wouldn't have known. And it's too bad. But the Canucks really could have used Brock, the 4-minute power play, and just to keep things in order. And Donnie, you said they looked tentative, and Suter didn't look, once he got away, and he's playing center, and it kind of Sam Lafferty taking offensive zone penalties. I didn't like that one, and I think that's the one that they scored on, was that offensive zone penalty, and you can't do things like that, especially against that. And their penalty killing was great, and a lot of it had to do with the faceoffs, but you can't flirt with danger against that Oiler power play.
So, John, Seelovs comes in, and every playoff, there's always that one guy that comes out and has a coming-out party. Do you automatically give him the backup spot next year and say, okay, kid, you showed us enough, you're going to be the backup to Demko next year? Is it that automatic in your eyes?
Yes. I don't think there's any doubt, unless they want to make bold moves and use him as a trading chip.
Right.
And to me, that's and then you could start him as your backup and trade him during the year, but he'd be a hot commodity right now. He's coming off the MVP and the World Championships. He's a proven playoff performer. He was absolutely great in these playoffs. And Thatcher's your guy. You're committed to Thatcher, and at Thatcher's age, that Thatcher is going to want to play. And I think that if you want to keep Casey DeSmith as a veteran Glenn Healy style backup, then you do that again and try and groom another young goaltender as your prospect. But I think you could really cash in on Artur Sheelovs or Seelovs, or however we're going to pronounce it. He would be a guy you could get a first round draft pick for him.
Big time, easily,
absolutely. We haven't even have some people in our Delaney's OK Tire and Langley inbox saying, well, what about maybe unloading Demko in favor of Shilov's, given what he showed this spring, John. Hey, Elias Pettersson, how do you explain his struggles, John? And 11-6 kicks in next year.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to decide, and they have to decide on Lindholm, and Lindholm was really good. I'm not saying they shouldn't sign him, but and you try and get as many good players as you can, but if you load up too much and look at the Leafs and look at some of the other teams that are too top heavy, Philip Hronek, his contract's up, isn't it? I think
he's an RFA though.
Yeah, he's an RFA, but he's 4.6 or whatever he is, and I really think that Elias has to be either your number one center or your number two center. If you want to put the 649, the Lotto line back together again, or if you want to have JT as a center, and I think JT is much better as a center. He can dominate the faceoff circle as he did in this game. But Elias has to be your second line center. And if they sign Lindholm, what's that? Elias isn't a winger. You don't want Elias to be a winger. He's not a winger. So you want him to be your number two center. So if Lindholm doesn't sign, if Lindholm signs someplace else, then it's easy for Elias to slot back in and make sure that he has at least one guy that he's playing with who can get him the puck and who can take the puck when Elias gives it to him. And who was it that Elias sent in there? Was it Phil Di Giuseppe?
Di Giuseppe shot high.
Yeah. Clean. Beautiful play. And then Elias on the Garland goal. Nice little pick play. But you have to have, and I think that was frustrating for Elias that during these playoffs he ended up playing with players that just couldn't complement his style or his talent.
Hey, Cheech, one of the really surprising stats from this game is that Connor McDavid played 20 and a half minutes. In a game 7, low for him, no points. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was outstanding. 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. He played over 21 minutes. What do you think he means to this hockey club? I don't know if he gets enough. If people talk.
Yeah, and he's a really smart player. Like, you watch him kill penalties too. Yeah. I mean, he is really a smart player. Along the boards, when at the end when they were protecting, when the Canucks had the scrambles and they were really pressuring, it was Nugent Hopkins who was the voice of reason for the Edmonton Oilers along the boards and calm and cool and in the offensive zone, killing time. And I think that he's a kind of guy that he complements those other two. McDavid, I didn't think he was that great. You're taking a face-off in your own zone after a play where now it's 3-1 and just casual. Like Lindholm beat him cleanly on the face-off, and then not only beat him cleanly, but dragged him to the front of the net so that he was the screen. You're a big guy, and you're letting Lindholm just manhandle you to the front of the net so that shot goes through the maze of players. And that's one of the jobs of the centerman. Okay, you lose the draw, but you block the guy out. You just get your body in front of him and block him out so that he can't get to the net. And McDavid just casually got in behind him, and he's such a great player. But a game, JT was way better than Connor McDavid again.
Yeah. Just been a pleasure having you on this postseason, John. One more before you go. 109 points, 50 wins. They go 2 rounds in the playoffs with injury issues. How would you describe the Canucks season?
Oh, incredible. Like, to me, it's what were they picked to get? 83 points. I think I was reading one of those.
Yeah. Rick picked him. Rick picked him for 83.
He picked him out of the playoffs, John. He picked him out of the playoffs.
the betting lines, and they were betting that the Canucks would get 83 points, and then they just kept coming and coming, and they even tonight. And I'm sitting there, and it's 3-0 going into the third. Okay, they have the push in the first minute of the third period. Okay, and then the Oilers survived that, and I figured, okay, it's going to end up 3-0, maybe 3-1 late. But and the Nashville game, that game in Nashville where they were down 3-0 with 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. And they ended up winning that. And they did that how many times during the season? It was, give credit to Rick Tocchet and Adam Foote and Sergei Gonchar and the rest of it, Mike Yeo and the coaching staff. They really believed in themselves, and they fed off each other's energy. And their talent guys were their talent guys, JT Miller and Brock Besser. What a comeback season it was for him. Remember last year, Donnie and Rick, you'll remember when they talked to his agent and were asking him to try and get a deal.
Yeah,
go and get a deal for Brock Besser. And look at the season he had. And Quinn Hughes, a Norris Trophy candidate, and Thatcher Denko, Vezina candidate. And, how many players and coaching staff overachieved this season and realized that, you set the bar high, and they did set the bar high, and they surpassed what their goals were. And it was fun to watch. It was fun to be a Canuck fan.
Yeah. So many people, I missed you on Canucks nothing against anybody, Cheech, but so many people missed you on Canucks broadcasts this year. This was just great to have you for this playoff.
Well, thank you very much. I was at the Greek Taverna in Surrey last night, and I walk in, and there's a couple of people with the Donnie and Dolly hats on. Now, I know I haven't got one. I haven't got a Donnie and Dolly hat. And they say, "Oh, we love the show, and we love when you're on, and blah, blah, blah." I said, "Well, where'd you get the hat?" Well, we sent in. Well, I want a Donnie with Ryan. Come on, Ryan. Give me
Ryan is on the...
Don't you know, John, that's all you're getting for these hits you're doing. Come on. We'll send you the hat, and that's it.
Thank you very much. I'll appreciate the hat. Look at my hair; I can cover it up.
Yeah, I hear you. At least you've got some. Hey, John, appreciate it. It's been just a blast. Thanks so much.
Thanks. Yes, thanks. I really enjoyed it, and hopefully we could do it again next year.
We will. We will.
Thanks, Cheech. Yes. All the best. Thank you so much.
Right, so much.
Have a great summer.